Wednesday Show. Wednesday Show. Wednesday Show. Hello, everybody. Maybe. I don't know if you can hear me or if you're even there. I don't know why Dracula is all of a sudden suddenly here. Yay, another bracket stream. Oh, yeah. How you doing, Dapper Vanta crew? And anyone else who might be out there. Right now it shows that we've got a few people who are out there, but they haven't commented yet. We got Matt there. Hey, Matt, how you doing? So today we're going to be continuing our Disney bracket series. We're going to be continuing trying to figure out what the best Disney soundtrack of all time is. Hello. Hey, howdy. Hey, welcome to the practice round. So today we're going to be continuing our bracket series where we're going to be going through trying to figure out what you think. Where are you? You're right there. I think is the best Disney soundtrack of all time. Bum, bum, bum. And we did. As always, we've got my prediction right here. I don't even remember what I wrote down. Oh, no, I do. Do I? What did I write? I'm pretty sure I know what it is. Okay, yeah, that's the one I thought. That is going to be sitting there until our final one, and then we can go through and figure out if I was right or not. Tiana's Bayou Adventure opening Friday. Are you excited? Are you going to go, Matt? Have you gone on it yet? Did you have a chance to do a preview? I'm excited to do that one. I'll be doing that one in January during the next race weekend. I will hopefully be able to have a chance to do Tiana's Bayou Adventure in Walt Disney World and Disneyland on the same day. That's my plan. We'll see if that happens or not. That is a plan that I just came up with on the spot too, by the way. So we'll find out. It was busy. Hola. Hello, Frank fam. Okay, so tonight we're going to be going through and continuing our bracket series and having it so you guys are figuring out what the best Disney soundtrack of all time is. Let's get to it because we've got a lot to do and these things get kind of chaotic and crazy. And so let's get this party started. We're going to start the 795th. That's a big number. I say that every single week, but that is a big number. Episode of the Wednesday Show in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 795th episode of the Wednesday Show. Today is November 13th, 2024, and I'm your host, as always, Brent Dodge. Hello. Today we're going to be continuing our Disney bracket series where you're going to be figuring out what the best Disney soundtrack of all time is. But of course, before we get to that, let's talk about our news for the week. First off, thank you everyone out there who's been joining us for our Saturday in the Park. If you didn't already know, every single Saturday we do a live broadcast from someplace found throughout the Walt Disney World Resort. You never know where we're going to be broadcasting from, but I promise you we will always be coming to you live from Disney. So make sure you join us every single Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time for some Disney fun. Where were we last week? I don't even remember what our broadcast. Oh, Dinosaur. We went on Dinosaur last week. I've been on Dinosaur like 100 times this week. But we will be coming to you, not from Dinosaur, but we will be coming to you from someplace else. And of course, as we go through here, let's continue to try to get our subscriber count up. We are starting on the subscriber count tonight at 8,132 subscribers. Let's try to get this up to at least 15,000 by the end of the night. Or 8,133. That's a nice little starting point, and then we'll just kind of go from there. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If you have not liked the video yet, that also helps up in the algorithm as well. So give that video a like as well to help boost this up here as well. And of course, as always, tonight's episode is sponsored by our Patreon pals. Patreon pals. Put your service to the test. I don't know how to put that. Anyways, thank you to our Patreon pals. If you are one of our Patreon pals in the chat room right now, give us an oh yeah. If you want to know more about how to become a Patreon pal, go to patreon.com. I was going to say patreonpal.com, but it's patreon.com/Brent Dodge, and you can become a Patreon pal too. Bling. Or you can be like Joe. And Joe's a subscriber, or what's it called on YouTube? A member? A member. Joe's a member. And that's why he's got this little emblem right here on his thing as well. Did you ever think you would say you were a dinosaur 800? Say you were on Dinosaur 100 times in a week? Yeah, because I actually go on Dinosaur quite often. I've always been a huge fan of Dinosaur. So let's talk about that for a second. So the book is coming. Oh, you know what? Let's do it this way. I didn't even think about we could do it this way. No, not that. We want this right here. Wait a minute. Now I'm confused. Okay, remove that one. And then what we're going to do is there we go. And then we can go here. And then we can go here. And then for a brief second, we can go like this. And you guys are like, oh my gosh, what is that? Well, that's the book, but now it's gone. So the book is coming along pretty well. I wrote until very, I should even say late last night. It was very early to the morning last night, but we were going to continue writing that book, and that book should be coming out sometime in the near-ish future. So we'll see. And there we go. There we got one. Oh my gosh, what is that? Okay, so tonight we're going to be continuing our bracket series. If you've never joined us for a bracket series, like it looks like Speedy Rabbit is what it's saying, what's a Disney bracket? Well, I'm glad you asked. So a Disney bracket is going to be all up to you. So what we did a few weeks ago, we had our first week of the Disney bracket series where we asked you guys to list off your favorite Disney soundtracks of all time. We made a list of 64 of them, and then we started going into full-on battle mode where we are randomly choosing different soundtracks go against other random soundtracks, and you vote for which one between those two is the best one to move on to the next round. So far, we have been going from the round of 64 into the round of 32, and tonight we're going to be continuing that streak right now. So let's get into it because we've got a lot to do tonight. We need 2 random numbers from you guys in the chat room right now between the numbers of 1 and 34. Throw them out there starting right now. And that will be our first matchup of this evening. Ooh, this is going to be exciting. Okay, so first 2 numbers to pop up are number 21 and number 8 are going to be our first matchup of the evening. Let's find out what they are. Ooh, okay. I like that one. I don't think other people like that one as much. And, ooh, this could be a very, very interesting one. But this is going to be one of the most random matchups we're ever going to have on this show. So let's get this party started. Let's start off with a little Zeke and Zeb and Ted and Fred and a bear named Tennessee. Bam, bam. Okay, so Critter Country was the location found before Bayou Country, which is found over in Disneyland, and that has had an elaborate soundtrack throughout the years. Everything from Deep in the 100-acre woods where Christopher Robin plays. Pretty much most of the Winnie the Pooh songs are found over there. The Splash Mountain songs were over there, and also the Country Bear Jamboree songs were there too. Now, all of these were not actual vocal things. We are talking about the soundtrack of When You're Walking Through the Land. So all of them were clearly instrumental. So it'd be like bum 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 bum. So while you're going through the land, you would hear different songs from those different films, and also Country Bear Jamboree, but all of them would be done in an instrumental part to make you feel like you were completely engulfed inside that land. Going up against this is such a random 2 things to start off for our thing. So going up against Critter Country is a movie which I personally love, but I also know a lot of people who just didn't really care for this movie. But it came out last year. The movie is Wish. Now, Wish has so many classic songs. Well, I shouldn't say classic. It's been out for not even a year yet. But it's got so many great songs like So I make this wish. So, by the way, my favorite part of that entire film, I does not get comfortable tonight. My favorite part of that entire film is the wish reprise at the very end. But we also have great songs like "You're a Star" and what's that song that Magnifico sings? This is the things I get. This is the things I get. Anyways, let's go to the vote because these are the two that I'm probably least versed in for these songs. So our first vote of the night is between Critter Country and the movie Wish for the soundtrack. Throw your votes into the comments. You get about 90 seconds to throw your votes in to figure out what we will go through. I really like Wish. I'm not gonna lie. I understand that a lot of people didn't like it, but I personally thought it was actually a great film with great music and so many great little hidden characters in there as well. And I would vote for Wish, and I'm looking at the votes coming in right now, and I think I might be one of the few that would vote for Wish. You still have about 45 seconds to throw your votes in there. Yeah, Wish is a reference to Snow White. Yep. Wish has nods to literally every single movie beforehand. If you want to learn more, go check out my YouTube video that I did. I actually did an entire video about every single reference, and it was like a 20-minute long video. I'm going through every single reference that is found within that film to other films. But your voting is up, so let's do our vote count. We have 1 for Critter Country, 2 for Critter Country, 3 for Critter Country, 3-1, 3-2. 4-2, 5-2, 5-3, and 5-3. Critter Country is moving on to our next round here. Okay, let's throw this into our next category too there. Okay, I need 2 more random numbers between the numbers of 1 and 32. Throw them to the comments right now to figure out what our next battle is going to be. Bum, bum, 2 numbers between 1 and 32. All right, first 2 that popped up is number 1 and number 29. All right, let's figure out what our next matchup is going to be. That's not the thing. There it is. 1 and 29. Ooh, oh, I like that one. I like both of these. I know what's going to win, but I really like both of these soundtracks. Okay, let's get these 2 down here for our next battle. Okay, our next battle is going to be between a soundtrack for an attraction versus a soundtrack for a movie, kind of like our last one. So let's start off with the attraction because that was the first number that I saw. Our attraction takes us to brand new heights all around the world. It is one of those soundtracks that as soon as you hear it, you immediately know what attraction it is. It's kind of like High School Musical. You're soaring, flying. We're talking about Soarin' because in the attraction Soarin', that has one of the most iconic Disney soundtracks of all time. It's all instrumental, but it completely transports you into that attraction. Think about that attraction without the music, and you're just flying in just silence. It's not as exciting. But with the music for Soarin', the attraction is so much better. Going up against Soarin', however, is a soundtrack that is beloved by many, including myself. This soundtrack features so many classic songs that you just can't help but know every single word to, because when this film came out, every single person on the planet was asking one question and one question only. Why don't we talk about Bruno? Because we don't talk about Bruno, no. So the movie Encanto features so many classic, iconic songs. Things like We Don't Talk About Bruno, The Family Madrigal, and so many other things that completely transport you into the Family Madrigal and help you tell the story of Mirabel and her amazing family with all their magical gifts. And overall, it is just a great film from start to finish, and a big part of that is because of the music. And that brings us to our next vote of the evening. Which one would you like to have move on? the soundtrack for Soren or the soundtrack for Encanto. You've got 90 seconds to throw your votes in, starting right now. Hey, Candace. When I saw Candace's name. So the other day they posted a thing a few weeks ago. They posted a thing the other day about a few weeks ago, Disney posted about how they're going to have a new Phineas and Ferb season coming out. And my comment on there was the most liked comment. I said, Mom, Phineas and Ferb are making a new season. And people were like, oh, iconic. And I was like, that was kind of funny. But apparently it's very, very good. It was a good comment. Let's keep on throwing your votes in there. You still have about 45 seconds left to throw your votes in. The reason I said that was because of the name Candace. Every time I see the name Candace, whenever Candace pops up into the chat room, that's the first thing I think of is Phineas and Ferb. No offense, Candace. So we have Soren, we've got Encanto. We also have 20 seconds left to throw your votes in there. Both of these, I feel like, deserve to go into round two. However, only one can go into round two, and it is time for us to figure out what will be going into round two. We've got 1 vote for Soren, 2 votes for Soren, 3 votes for Soren. This is kind of blowing my mind because I thought that Encanto was just going to walk away with this one. 3-1 with Encanto, 3-2 Encanto, 3-3 Encanto, 4-3 Encanto. Encanto has come from behind. And then the last vote is for Sorcanto, which ties it up. So, that cancels each other out. Joe, you got to make a final decision next time. Encanto is going to be moving on to the next round. So we will continue to talk about Bruno in round number 2. But now it is time for 2 numbers between the numbers of 1 and 30 to be thrown into the comments. The first 2 to pop up will be our random numbers that are going to be going head to head against one another as our rounds continue here. We don't talk about Bruno. I like Louisa's song. That's my favorite song in the entire film. We got number 22 and number 19 are our first 2 numbers that popped up there in the chat room. 22 and wait, was it 22 and 29 or 22 and 19? 22 and 29. 22 and 29. Okay. Oh, why? Okay. So this could be a runaway, but we're gonna go through it anyways because one of these is very near and dear to my heart. And the one that's very near and dear to my heart, I would like to point out that I did not put this into the soundtrack poll. One of you guys out there did, and that's why it's there. And because of that, you might be the one who's breaking my heart today because you were the one who threw this in there. So let's get this matchup started off with the more recent of the 2 films. Both of these are going to be films. The first one up is Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride. We're talking about Lilo and Stitch. Now, Lilo and Stitch came out in 2002 and had so many classic songs like Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride, and, well, that's about it. There was not a whole lot of original music done specifically for the film. However, we do have a lot of Elvis in the film as well. Overall, all of the film songs do transport you to the island of Hawaii, and they do truly fit in with the entire course of the movie. Unlike other Disney movies that we've talked about tonight and in previous episodes, we don't really have it so the characters in this one are singing, but the music helps tell the story and propels the story forward. So our first one up is Lilo and Stitch. The second one that, again, you chose to put in here is not just 1 film, not just 2, not just 3, not just 4, not just 5, but 5 films, a made-for-TV film, and a television series. That's right. We're talking about the one, the only, Herbie the Love Bug. Herbie the Love Bug has no music that has vocalization, with the exception of the song, Friendship is from Herbie Goes Bananas. It's the only part of the song I can think of right now. But more importantly, the instrumental music of Herbie the Love Bug in all the films helps truly sell the personality of Herbie with classic things like bum 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 ba da dum bum bum ba da dum bum 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 ba da bum bum ba da bum 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 ba-dum 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 bum 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 ba-dum bum. By the way, when I drive Herbie, I do sometimes sing the song. Not gonna lie at all. So going head to head in this next matchup is either the Love Bug / Herbie films versus Lilo and Stitch. You guys have about 90 seconds to completely destroy Herbie. I know Herbie's going down right now, but I am fully prepared that maybe a miracle will happen and you guys will vote for Herbie the Love Bug. But throw your votes into the comments. You guys have 90 seconds. Now it's less than 90 seconds. We have about 75 seconds to potentially ruin my hopes and dreams of Herbie continuing. Come on, Herb. Just stare at them for a little bit, because maybe, just maybe, if they just see you for enough time, they'll be like, oh, you know what? I should vote Herbie. I should vote Herbie. I think you should. There is also, so the theme song for the Herbie the Love Bug television series was sung by Jim Douglas, aka, or not Jim Douglas, Dean Jones, who plays Jim Douglas in the Herbie films and the Herbie television series. And he's like, it's Herbie. He's my best friend. And it's a great song. If you are not going to take anything away from tonight's episode of the Wednesday Show, I hope you take away the fact that you should look up the theme song for the Herbie the Love Bug television series. Don't look up the theme song for the Herbie the Love Bug film, because it'll give you a completely different song. Look up the one that's sung by Dean Jones, because overall, it'll just make your day. I absolutely love it. But what I don't love is the fact that this voting period is done, and we're going to go and find out how awful you all are for taking out my beloved Herbie. Okay, we got 1 vote for Lilo and Stitch, 2 for Lilo and Stitch, 3 for Lilo and Stitch. Matt, I applaud you. 3-1 right now. 4-1. 4-2. 4-3. 4-4. 5-4. 6-4. Lilo and Stitch is moving on to our next round. Okay, I need from all those people who voted Herbie. No, anyone can do it. I need 2 numbers between the numbers of 1 and 28. Throw them into the thing. Starting right now. I forgot to put Encanto into my next list. Did I remember to put down Critter Country? I think I did, right? All right. Yeah, there it is. Okay. All right, 2 numbers between 1 and 28. Our first 2 that popped up was number 6 and number 7. Okay, let's take a look at our polls here to figure out what number 6 and number 7 are going to be. Oh my gosh. Okay, alert the presses. We are going to have a massive showdown. Okay, this is like East Coast versus West Coast. This is fireworks versus parade. This is one of my favorite soundtracks of all time, versus another one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. Let's start off on the West Coast. Over on the West Coast, we have had so many different parades. In fact, I feel like Disneyland gets like a new parade every 4 months. They just, it's like a rotation of parades. However, there is one parade that has stood above the test of time, in my personal opinion, as the best parade that Disneyland has ever had. And I know what a lot of people out there are thinking, Main Street Electrical Parade. No, that's not it. One that I love even more than the Main Street Electrical Parade is the Paint the Night Parade. And part of the reason that I love the Paint the Night Parade so much is because of the music for the Paint the Night Parade, which is originally found in the film Wreck-It Ralph. But that entire song, as you go through there, can't help but make you feel happy from start to finish as that parade goes by you, as you have those lit up things, as you hear, it's been fun, but now I've got to go. Bum, ba-na-na-na-na. I want to know When can we do this again? Oh, oh, oh. Overall, Paint the Night Parade is one of those parades that I just absolutely love. I always want to watch it when it's around because it just puts me in a good mood. And a big part of that is because of the soundtrack. I think the soundtrack is just so well done from start to finish. However, going to the East Coast, we have another soundtrack that is specifically in a park. And it is also retired, much like the Paint the Night Parade. But it's one that, again, every time I hear it, I just can't help but smile, maybe cry, maybe just have every emotion in the book. Because this one is the one that didn't start at all, but it started my dreams of being here at Walt Disney World on a daily basis. Good evening, folks. Cricket's the name. Jiminy Cricket. We're talking about wishes. Wishes! Dream a dream. Wishes! Set it free. Wishes! Every little second of the song or the soundtrack for Wishes just tugs at your heartstrings and it makes you believe that wishes really can come true, as Jiminy Cricket would say, if you believe in them with all your heart. Wishes from start to finish is, in my opinion, one of the best perfect soundtracks that Disney's ever created, whether it's for a theme park, whether it's for a film, or whether it's for a Broadway show. It is perfect from start to finish, in my opinion, and I will die on that hill. So that brings us to our next vote. You've got 90 seconds to figure out which one do you want to move on to the next round, Wishes or Paint the Night Parade. Throw it into the comments starting right now. Oh, starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. Oh, I miss Wishes. I really miss Wishes. So every year, Disney does a thing for people who have been working at the company for like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years. Like it's a special night just for those cast members and their special guests. And when they have done this in the past, they have a special fireworks show. And one of my friends posted it during their like 15-year anniversary thing. And part of the fireworks was Wishes. And watching it, I watched their live feed of it like 50 times because when just being able to watch Wishes again was like, Wishes is just, it literally, if I had to choose the perfect soundtrack that Disney has ever done for a park, Wishes is it, in my opinion. And it's my opinion. So let's go out here and figure out what you guys think. I'm really hoping you're voting for Wishes out there. But at the same time, if you don't, it's your opinion. You might be wrong, but it's your opinion. Okay, we got 1 for Wishes, 2 for Wishes, 3 for Wishes, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 for Paint the Night. 8 to 1, 9 to 1, 10 to 1, 11 to 1, 11 to 1. Wishes is moving on to the next round. We also just had a huge amount of people who just joined us in the chat room. Welcome to the chat, guys. We are doing a Disney bracket, trying to figure out what you think the best Disney soundtrack of all time is. And that is going to bring us to our next one. I need 2 numbers from you guys in the chat room between the numbers of 1 and 26. Throw them into the comments starting right now to figure out what our next round is going to be. There was one time where my roommates and I, in my college program, we literally reenacted all of Wishes, the entire show, in the condo or in our apartment. And we're like doing the fireworks. Wishes. Dream. Okay, number 8 and number 2 are the 2 that popped up. Okay, nope, that is not the one I want. That is the book. Ooh, oh, okay. This is a weird one, but I'm going to be shocked if one of these gets 1 vote, but we'll find out. I will be completely shocked. Let's start off with number 8, because number 8 is the one that I think it's good. I don't know how many other people are going to think this is good, but let's start us off. Let's go back to the 1980s. Back in the 1980s, Disney decided to do something that they had never done before. They decided to have a brand new cartoon block of characters based on previous shows that they had done or movies that they had done. But they started this entire thing by launching with a completely new original storyline, kind of based off of a little bit of the magic they had from The Sword and the Stone. But overall, it was going to be this whole thing. And it had this amazing soundtrack, which was dashing and daring, courageous and caring, faithful and friendly, with stories to share. All through the forest they sing out in chorus, marching along as the song fills the air. Gummy bears, bouncing here and there and everywhere. And not only that, in addition to that, we also had other great songs like Gummy berry, choose. Gummy berry juice. It can make you jump like kangaroos with gummy berry juice. So the Adventures of the Gummy Bears, I don't know who put this on this list. It actually was not me, but whoever did, I thank you, because those are just two great songs, in my opinion. But at the same time, going up against these two, or going up against the soundtrack for the Adventures of the Gummy Bears, is another one that is just very iconic from the early 1990s. It has other questions that we always have to ask ourselves, like, what's this? What's this? There's something in the air. What's this? Nightmare Before Christmas. Nightmare Before Christmas, of course, came out in the early 1990s, and it has been a cult classic ever since. Not only do we have classic songs like What's This, but we also have several different things like the sound of just marching and the na, 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 na. Grim grinning goat. Now that I'm getting into the Halloween party song. But overall, the music from The Nightmare Before Christmas does place you into a magical world where Halloween and Christmas come together and Jack Skellington rules it all. And that's going to bring us to our next vote. What do you want to have go on to our next round? Is it The Adventures of the Gummy Bears or The Nightmare Before Christmas soundtrack? You've got 90 seconds to throw your votes in, starting right now. I do like Gummy Bears, but I do like Nightmare Before Christmas. Nightmare Before Christmas does have some great music in it by Danny Elfman. And I will be kind of surprised if Nightmare Before Christmas does not win, but at the same time, we'll see. Let's see here. I am willing to take the bait here. We will not get monetized on this. We will not get monetized on this specifically, so I can play this song for you. Oh no, that's the main song. Where's the Gummy Bear Juice song? No, that's not it. Never mind. I guess we're keep the monetization still going here. Okay, you guys have about 10 seconds left to vote. I don't think it's gonna be worth it, but we're gonna give you guys those 10 seconds while I go through and tally up this thing, because right now we've got one for Gummy Bears, one for Nightmare Before Christmas. Right now it's a 1-1 vote. Nightmare Before Christmas is in the lead 2-1, and Gummy Bears is tied up 2-2. Good night, Matt. 3-2 Nightmare Before Christmas, 4-2, 5-2, 6-2, 7-2, 7-3, 8-3, 9-3, 10-3. Nightmare Before Christmas is going to moving on. Also, welcome to all those people who are joining us right now. We have a lot of people who are joining us. We are doing a bracket series to figure out what you think is the best Disney soundtrack of all time. And that is going to bring us to our next vote here. I need two numbers randomly from you guys between the numbers of 1 and 24. First two to pop up will be the ones that are going into our head-to-head competition on our next round here. Hello, Alaska. Oh, we don't have 31. 1 through 24. 1 through 24. Okay, we got 24 and 16 on the first two that popped up there. 24 and 16 it is. Okay, going. No. Okay, let's write these down real quick. Versus All right, we are having a battle of classic Disney Sherman Brothers songs against classic Disney Alan Menken songs. We've got classic Disney live action versus classic Disney animated. This is going to be a battle, folks. I think I know what's going to win, but we've got a battle on our hands here, and that is what we are bringing to the table starting right now. Let's start us off with the Sherman Brothers. Back in the 1960s, the Sherman Brothers were the powerhouse musicians of the Disney company. However, they had to have their start someplace when it came to the full-length animated or full-length feature films, and they got their start on a little film called The Parent Trap. The Parent Trap has a few iconic songs like Let's Get Together, Yeah, Yeah, Yeah. Why don't you and I combine? Let's get together, what do you say? In addition to that, we also have the Parent Trap song, which is found at the very top. The Parent Trap, ba-dum-bum-ba-dum-bum. Going up against the Parent Trap soundtrack, though, is a more recent soundtrack that, in my opinion, is one of the best soundtracks that Disney has ever created. Because not only does it teach us life lessons like, you gotta dig a little deeper, find out who you are, it also questions things like, when I'm human, like I'm gonna be. It has so many amazing things like, the evening star is shining bright, so make a wish and hold on tight. Of course, we're talking about Princess and the Frog. Princess and the Frog brought back that classic 1990s Disney vibe of having great music with great animation and great storytelling, and all together just combining everything to put it into one of the best soundtracks that Disney could have ever created. And of course, that is going to bring us to our next vote here. What one would you like to move on to the next round? The Parent Trap soundtrack or the Princess and the Frog soundtrack? You've got 90 seconds to throw your votes into the comments, starting right now. The Best of Country Sing the Best of Disney has been my favorite Disney album. I don't know if I know that album. I got to look that album up. Okay, we got a lot of things coming through here. A lot of votes. Hey, Dave. Let's get together. What do you say? Why don't you and I combine? Okay, let's. Oh, you got about 15 seconds left here, but I'm getting excited because there's so many votes coming in right now. We also have more people who are popping up right now. By the way, if you're one of those people popping up right now and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe too, because we want to have it so this number keeps on going up as the evening goes on. And right now, we are still at that starting number of 8,132 subscribers. So if you want to get that to go up, make sure you subscribe. Or send your friends over to subscribe. All of them. Every single friend. And if you don't like what's going on here, send your enemies over so they have to suffer as well. Okay, let's get to the vote here. We are starting off with 1 vote for Princess and the Frog, 2 for Princess and the Frog, 3 for Princess and the Frog, 4. Right now it's a runaway 5. 1 for the Parent Trap, 2 for the Parent Trap. Right now it is a 5-2 vote with Princess and the Frog in the lead. 6-2, 7-2, 7-3, 8-3, 8-4, 9-4, and 10-4. And 10-4. 10-4, Princess and the Frog is moving on to our next round here. That was one of those, when I saw that one pop up against Parent Trap, I was like, I'm so sorry, Parent Trap. Yeah, you had a good round. Well, not really, because it was still the first round that they're pulling out. Okay, I need 2 numbers from you guys, though, between the numbers of 1 and 22. Throw those numbers into the comments, and then we will be going head-to-head yet again with another thing here. I have not seen the Scrooge Gingerbread Carousel yet, but I will soon. Maybe tomorrow. I'm not positive yet. I really want to ride the People Mover. I did not have a chance to ride the People Mover today. Today was a hectic day, so I did not ride People Mover today. So I'm thinking maybe tomorrow I'm just going to ride the People Mover from start to finish. All right, we got number 20 and number 10 are going to be our first 2 numbers that popped up there. Let's figure out what number 20 and number 10 are. Oh man. So here's the problem with this bracket series is sometimes you guys throw things in here that I personally love. And I love when you guys throw in things that I personally love. But then the problem is sometimes you throw in multiple things that I love, which is also pretty good. But then you guys say, hey, you know what? We're going to have it so this thing that you love goes against this other thing that you love. And then we're just going to hope for the best that maybe, just maybe, your life will go on. But it might not after this one. Boo to you. Boo to you. Boo to you and you and you and you and you and you. Boo to you. Trick or treat. We're talking about the Boo to You Parade, Mickey's Boo to You Parade, found during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. It is hands down, without a doubt, one of the best parades that Disney has ever done. It is just great from start to finish. And a big part of it is because I would like to point out that other people killed Brother Bear on this list this time around. So not me, other people, guys. Okay, and then, right, you guys killed Brother Bear already. Or did I just like delete it in my sleep? I think Brother Bear. We're going to have to go through all of them later on. But I'm pretty sure people killed Brother Bear last week. I'm almost positive Brother Bear died last week. But Mickey's Boo to You Parade just has classic songs, or it's got a classic song that goes through every single genre as you go through there. And of course, it's got the spooky part, it's got the exciting part, it's got the like eerie part, it's got the country part, it's got a little bit of every part. But overall, the Boo to You Parade is just a great parade from start to finish. And you just can't help but sing the Boo to You song from the rest of your life. I was going to say the night, but the rest of your life, you will continue to sing the Boo to You song after you hear it the first time because it just gets stuck in your head. Going up against it is another soundtrack specifically for the Magic Kingdom. This one is an attraction that opened up in October of 2003, and since it opened up, it has been taking the hearts of everyone from start to finish. Because in this, we don't have just one classic song, but two. Well, not two. We got three. No, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have about 9. We have about 9 different classic songs because in Mickey's PhilharMagic, we are invited to a brand new concert put on by Mickey Mouse, and Donald Duck takes over. And when he takes over, we get so many amazing Disney songs from Be Our Guest to the bum 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 ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum, the Sorcerer's Apprentice from, of course, Fantasia, to I Wanna Be Where the People Are. And then we've got I'm gonna be a mighty king, so enemies beware. Well, I've never seen a king or beast with quite so little hair. Overall, Mickey's PhilharMagic has so many classic Disney songs, especially from the 1990s, but also a few from the 1950s as well, to put them all together into a perfect soundtrack. And that is going to bring us to our next vote. What do you want to have go on to our next round? Is it Mickey's Boo to You Parade or Mickey's PhilharMagic? Throw your vote into the comments starting right now. You get 90 seconds, people. I'm gonna be a mighty king, so enemies beware. Well, I've never seen a king or beast with quite so little hair. I feel like a lot of these have been tough today. For those of you guys just joining us, because I know there's a few people who missed the start, we've had Critter Country against Wish Movie, Soarin' against Encanto, Lilo and Stitch versus Herbie the Love Bug, Wishes versus Paint the Night Parade, Gummy Bears versus Nightmare Before Christmas, Parent Trap versus Princess the Frog, and now we've got the Boo to You Parade against Mickey's PhilharMagic. That's just a little roundup of what we have done so far this evening. Okay, we're going to give you guys about 15 more seconds to throw your votes out there, and then we'll figure out which one you are killing off. I love both of these, but I'm also not going to be heartbroken with whichever one leaves because I don't think either one of these I would put in my top 20, but I do like both of them. All right, let's get through your votes here. We got 1 for PhilharMagic, 1 for Boo to You, 2 for Boo to You, 2-1 right now. 2-2, PhilharMagic's tied it up. 3-2 with PhilharMagic in the lead. Boo to You has tied it up once again. 4-3, PhilharMagic. 5-3. We now have a 5-4 vote with PhilharMagic still in the lead. 6-4, 7-4. All right, have a good night. Okay, Mickey's PhilharMagic has moved on to our next round here. Mickey's PhilharMagic wins. That's kind of surprising to me, honestly. As much as I love Mickey's PhilharMagic, I thought Boo to You was going to win that one. Okay, that is going to bring us to our next vote here. We still have 15 minutes left of our show. If we get one more subscriber, we'll go into an extra inning. I need 2 numbers between 1 and 20. Throw them into the comments. First 2 numbers to pop up will be the ones that are going head-to-head against one another yet again here. Boo to you, a trick or a treat. Boo to you and you and you and you. Happy Halloween, boo to you. No one's throwing numbers in the comments. It's just dead silence out there, unless all of a sudden the chat room just stopped working, which could be a possibility too. But right now it's just silence. I need 2 numbers between 1 and 20. There we go. 7 and 15 are the first 2 that popped up there. 7 and 15 it is. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Versus, what was the other one? Okay, this is a good one. This is, when it comes to great soundtracks that are often overlooked, I would put both of these soundtracks on that list. So let's start us off with a life motto. Now is the time to seize the day. Newsies. Newsies is one of those songs, or one of those films, that has so many amazing songs in it. Things like, now is the time to seize the day. Now is the time to seize the day. And then, of course, we got things like Santa Fe, where you been? I'm alone, but I ain't lonely. And we have Ain't You Heard? I'm the King of New York. Overall, I love the Newsies soundtrack. I think Newsies is one of those films that's completely underrated. I think that more and more people should go out and take a look at it. I remember, this is just a complete side story, but I remember when this film came out. So it came out in theaters, and then they put it on The Wonderful World of Disney. And I remember watching on The Wonderful World of Disney was the Sunday night program. It was the first time that I had seen the film. And then it was snowing out. And the only reason I remember it was snowing out was because the next day at recess, I forced my friends, Andy and Andy, to reenact Newsies with me as we were in the snowbanks trying to sell newspapers. And they didn't even watch the movie the night before. They had no idea what they were doing. And I was like, come on, we got to sell these newspapers. What are you guys doing? It's a wonder they're not friends with me anymore. Going up against Newsies is another soundtrack that has so many great songs, but again, it's just overlooked. Coming from 1996, we have things like Out There, Living Right. Actually, now that I think about it, almost every single Wednesday show, we start off with, I don't know if you can hear me. While I wait for people to come on, I always say, or if you're even there. This is from Hunchback of Notre Dame, except for I always start talking about Wednesday show and stuff, and I put other things in there. But it's, I don't know if you would listen to a gypsy prayer. Yes, I know I'm just an outcast. I shouldn't speak to you. Still I see your face and wonder, were you once an outcast too? Hunchback of Notre Dame has so many amazing songs like Out There, Out There. We have other great songs like A Guy Like You, A Guy Like You, because that one is the only time ever in a Disney song where a character describes another character of being shaped like a croissant. And that's just, funny in my mind when they had the croissant over Quasimodo. Overall, it has a lot of different songs in there that most people forget that even exist, but overall, a great soundtrack through and through, much like Newsies, and that's going to bring it to you. Which one would you like to have move on to round 32? I just did a lot of rhyming without even planning it. Throw your votes in. Which one do you want? Newsies or Hunchback of Notre Dame to move on? You have 90 seconds to throw your votes into the comments, starting right now. Yeah, I really do like both these soundtracks a lot. And that's a very true story. If you track down Andy Hahn or Andy Aiken on Facebook, I'm friends with both of them on Facebook, but I don't know if they would remember me making them dance in the snowbanks while trying to sell newspapers. but that really did happen. They probably have never read a newspaper in their life because of that. Okay, we're going to give you guys 15 more seconds. Throw your votes in there. I haven't thought about that in a long time. I was like, come on, guys. Like, we got to start singing. Now is the time to seize the day. Okay, let's get to the votes here. We got 1 for a Hunchback, 2 for a Hunchback, 3 for a Hunchback, 4 for a Hunchback, 5 for a Hunchback, 6 for a Hunchback, 6-1. Annalise likes the Newsies. Oh, yeah. 7-1, 8-1. Hunchback of Notre Dame will be moving on. We have a lot of people out there who are watching but not voting right now. If you're one of those people, consider voting on the next one because, trust me, it makes the night a whole lot more exciting when you are voting. Okay, I need 2 numbers between the numbers of 1 and 18. Throw them into the comments starting right now. First 2 to pop up will be our ones going head-to-head against one another here. 1 through 18. We got 1 for 4 and 1 for neighbors to neighbors, father to son. Okay, right now we just have number 4. Anyone else? There we go. Number 2. 4 and 2 are going to be head-to-head against one another here. Oh, no. Okay. This is going to be an interesting one. Because one of these has songs actually in both of them, in both things. Let me explain. Okay. Let's start off with close your eyes for a second. Imagine that you're walking through the Disney parks, and while you're walking through, you can hear the different songs in the background. And sometimes the most prominent songs might be things like Walking Down Main Street, USA, and you hear the bum ba-dum, bum ba-dum, bum ba-dum. Or, no, that's not even a song from Main Street. I don't know why I'm saying that. Or if you're like me and someone says, think of a Disney parks soundtrack of you being in a land, closing your eyes and listening to the music. What is the thing that completely makes you feel 100% like you are in Disney? And for me, it is the Fantasyland soundtrack. There is just something special about walking through Fantasyland and hearing that carousel music play. Different classic Disney songs like Feed the Birds, or that's the only one they play. No, that's just the only one I can think of it. I Can Show You the World is one of them. What are the other ones? Now I'm drawing the biggest blank. Oh, I Know You. It's a so when you're walking through Fantasyland, you just can't help but hear the soundtrack from the carousel, and it just can't help but make you smile because the Fantasyland soundtrack consists of several different Disney animated hits, and it just is like the ultimate Disney soundtrack while you're walking through the parks. However, Going up against the Fantasyland soundtrack as another soundtrack that could also be described as the ultimate Disney soundtrack. Because I feel like if you were to tell 100 people to name what is the best Disney soundtrack of all time, I would say about half of them would probably come up with this answer. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim tree. When you're with a sweep, you're in glad company. Oh, let's go fly a kite. A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine go down. Medicine go down. Mary Poppins came out in 1964. And when it came out, it gave us not just one classic song, not two, not three, but it literally gave us an entire soundtrack of amazing songs that almost every single Disney fan knows every single word to. And then also, anyone who's not a Disney fan, I guarantee if you went up to them and said, can you name a Mary Poppins song? They could name at least one. So that is going to bring us to our next vote of the night. Which one do you want to have move on? Fantasyland or Mary Poppins? You have 90 seconds to vote. Hey, Eric. Lousy hockey practice. I blame my godson. Also, while we're going through here, my Feed the Birds is actually Walt Disney's favorite soundtrack of all, or his favorite song of all time, from Mary Poppins. My favorite Mary Poppins song, however, is A Man Has Dreams. There's just something about that scene in that movie that gets me every time. I just love it. A man has dreams of walking with giants. And then when Bert comes in, he's like, you've got to grind, grind, grind at that grindstone. And he's like, a spoonful of sugar, that is all it takes. It changes bread and water into tea and cakes. And then Mr. Banks is like, see, that's what I'm talking about. Turning bread and water to tea and cakes, all this huggity-puggity. you got 10 seconds left to throw your votes in there. A spoonful of sugar goes a long, long way. Have yourself a healthy helping every day. All right, we got 1 for Mary Poppins, 2 for Mary Poppins, 3 for Mary Poppins, 1 for Fantasyland, 4 for Mary Poppins. We got a 4-1 vote right now, 5-1 vote, 6-1 vote, 7-1 vote, 8-1 vote, 9-1 vote. Right now, Mary Poppins is moving on to the next round. And not only that, I think we actually have 2 other Mary Poppins things have already moved on, right? I could be wrong. Yeah, Mary Poppins on Broadway, Mary Poppins Returns, and now Mary Poppins. All 3 of the Mary Poppins soundtracks have moved on to round number 2. That's funny. Okay. It is 2 minutes before we usually end. Let's do at least one more. And while we do this one more, send your friends over so we can go into at least one extra round here. This is going to be like this is already one bonus round because this is going to take longer than 2 minutes. But I need 2 numbers between 1 and 16. And then after you throw those numbers in there, go tell like 5 of your friends, be like, hey, you need to go subscribe right now so we can continue doing this bracket series. All right. 1 through 16. Oh, we got number 1 and number 16. Those are the 2 numbers that popped up first. 1 and 16. Let's do this thing. Okay. This is going to be as anticlimactic as our first one. Okay. I've already written down which one won, but let's just get this started. Okay, so our first one is going to be something that I personally have not even experienced yet in person. So over in Disneyland, Matt actually brought it up earlier. I think he left already, but Matt brought up that this coming up Friday, we have a brand new attraction / a brand new land that is opening up over in Disneyland called Bayou Country. Now, Bayou Country is going to be featuring several different new songs put on for the area music. But in addition to that, we also want to include some of the old classic songs. Things like we have the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh songs. Things like The Wonderful World About Tigers. Tigers is a wonderful thing. The tops are made of the rubber. The bottom are made out of the springs. They're bouncy, trouncy, fancy, fancy, fun, 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 fun. The most wonderful thing about Tigers is I am the only one. I'm the only one. Woo-hoo-hoo! And then going up against that, we also have, not against that, this is still part of it. We also have some of the music from Princess and the Frog, because it's going to be part of Tiana's Bayou Adventure, including the brand new song that is sung at the end of the attraction. Going up against that is a soundtrack that doesn't belong just to one movie, not two, not three, but four completely different movies, plus one theme park attraction, or I'm sorry, 5 movies and one theme park attraction. Of course, we were talking about Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean is one of those soundtracks that does not have any words to it, with the exception of one song from the start of the one film where they're like, where they're singing the Dead Men, or yo ho, hoist the colors. I can't think of the words right now. But then, of course, we have some amazing instrumental music that is played throughout most of the Pirates of the Caribbean songs, including, we're gonna completely botch my chance of getting monetized tonight. I mean, no, this is an ad for Glycerine Max by Brooks. It's a shoe. Just great music. I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean just has great music from start to finish. And that is going to bring us to our potentially final vote of the evening, unless we get a brand new subscriber in the meantime. Which one would you like to have move on to the next round? Is it the Bayou Country area music or the Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack? Throw your votes in. You've got 90 seconds to vote, starting right now. I love Pirates of the Caribbean. I think the best Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack, though, is Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. I think it's just a great soundtrack. That's one of those soundtracks I listen to quite often when I write, because it just has great, especially that the scene. There's that one song. It's like a 12-minute song, and it's the battle. But then it's also when Will and Elizabeth get married. Whoa! Did that just pop up? Look, Joe's been a member for 11 months. How did that just pop up? Was it 11 months to go during the show that you became a member, and like now you just turned over? Look at that. That's exciting, though. Thanks for being a member, Joe, for 11 months. That it truly means a lot to me. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know why that just popped up, though. Did you make that pop up? Look at that. It's all green and stuff, too. That's so cool. It's a membership milestone. So did it just pop up like, hey, you just hit your membership milestone? Well, if you want to have a fancy green thing like Joe, become a member. It's someplace, I don't know where it's at, but it's someplace down there. While you're watching this the video, it'll say become a member. There's only one level of the membership on YouTube. It's called Club Oh Yeah. and it helps support the channel. Okay, let's go to our vote here. We have 1 for Pirates, 2 for Pirates, 3 for Pirates, 4 for Pirates, 5 for Pirates, 6 for Pirates, 7 for Pirates, 8 for Pirates, 9 for Pirates. Bayou Country got nothing. Absolutely nothing. No votes. Not moving on. It doesn't even want to move on. You click on the money symbol. See, my thing's set up differently here. Can I even do it? I don't know if I'll be able to do it because I'm me. But let's see here. I'm kind of curious what happens, though. Oh, let me like my own video, too. There we go. Oh, yeah, mine doesn't show it because I'm just watching myself live. And look, now it's going to have you guys see me holding the thing up to the thing as well. And then we're going to see that Brent show the thing up Show the thing up, okay? And then that friend's gonna show it. Oh my gosh, this is absolutely hilarious. Okay, and now that friend is gonna show it. And then that friend's gonna show it. Come on. Oh, it's you finally got a new phone. I've had this phone since January. that that was the highlight of the Wednesday show for me. That's absolutely hilarious. Anyways, the long story short, I can't see it on my phone. Okay, Pirates of the Caribbean is moving on to our next round here. Okay, and let's throw that down here in a random spot. Okay, so before we wrap up here tonight, let's just do a quick roundup of round one, because why not? Okay, so far we've had New Orleans soundtrack beat High School Musical. That still blows my mind. Tangled versus Toy Story Land with Tangled winning. Rocketeer versus Aladdin won. Coco versus Main Street Electrical Parade with Coco winning. Adventureland versus Moana won. High School Musical, the series versus Mary Poppins on Broadway with Mary Poppins on Broadway winning. Hercules versus The Enchanted Secret Room with Hercules winning. Tarzan versus Tailspin, Tarzan won. Lady and the Tramp versus Enchanted won. Aristocats versus Toontown with the Aristocats moving on. Chicken Little versus The Lion King with Lion King going on. Hamilton versus Guardians of the Galaxy with Guardians of the Galaxy going on. Beauty and the Beast versus Casey's Corner Piano with Beauty and the Beast moving on to the next round. Ratatouille versus Country Bear Musical Jamboree. Ratatouille won that round. Frontierland Loop versus Mary Poppins Returns. Mary Poppins Returns won. Good Critter Country beat out Wish the Movie. Encanto beat Sora. And Lilo and Stitch beat Herbie. Wishes beat Paint the Night Parade. Nightmare Before Christmas beat out The Adventures of the Gummy Bears. Princess of the Frog beat Parent Trap. Mickey's Philhar Magic beat Boo Boo. Hunchback beat Newsies. And Mary Poppins beat Fantasyland. And then finally, Pirates of the Caribbean beat out the Bayou Country Music. And we're going to check out our thing here. What is our number? We are still at 8,132 subscribers. So that was our last one for the evening. However, let's have one more vote before we wrap up here. I want one vote and one vote only. Do you want to have it so next week we do a bracket series? Or, wait a minute, before I continue the sentence, let me make sure. Or bracket series, or is this a good idea? Is this a good idea? No, it's not a good idea. Oh wait, or never mind. Next week we're gonna go to the vote. You guys can choose at the start of the episode on what it is. I was gonna say bracket series or go to the park, but the park closes halfway through the Wednesday show. I was thinking that we are further into the month, but the week after, we will probably go through and do an episode either in the park or do a bracket series the day before Thanksgiving. We will let you guys vote on that later on, maybe next week. So before we wrap up here, though, I would like to remind you guys that once again, tonight's episode is sponsored by our Patreon pals. I was trying to do Pirates of the Caribbean, and then I realized I was starting off completely way off, and it just wasn't going to work. Thank you to our Patreon pals for being the sponsor of tonight's episode. If you are one of our Patreon pals out in the chat room right now, give us an oh yeah. Okay, thank you everyone out there for joining us once again tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to go back, and well, not go back. I'm going to stay sitting right here and continue to write away the next book here until probably like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. If you are one of our Patreon pals, then look out, because tonight my goal is to finish the dinosaur chapter tonight. So watch out on the Patreon website, not the Patreon Facebook group, but on the Patreon website. I will have that entire chapter up as soon as it is loaded, and that will be for all members of Patreon. As long as you are one of the 3 levels, you will be getting that tonight. Hopefully tonight. If not tonight, tomorrow for sure. If you're not one of the Patreon people and you want to sign up and get that chapter potentially tomorrow when you wake up, then that might be a very good episode or a very good time for you to sign up for our Patreon bills. And also, as always, remember that anything can happen if you let it. Until next time, have a great week, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Are they gone? Are they gone? Oh, good. My cheeks are just killing me. I can't stand this kind of